Mischievous little squirrel. It's only the end of February, but there's a sort of spring vigor in the air. The neighbors are very much alive, active. The squirrels as well. For the record, this is a new riff barrel pick from a local liquor store here in Colorado Springs, and it is fantastic if you like bourbon, which I do. And it is very much Saturday. 60 degrees. And about damn time. And the pipe good old Solani aged Burley Flake. which is still fairly new to me. I think I opened that tin up, I don't know, maybe 4 months ago. 3 or 4 months ago. Tried it for the first time. I dig it. There's a review somewhere on the channel if you care. But I'm not here to review anything today. I'm just here to relax. It has been far too long. I feel like my last video was probably sometime around the new year. I was either doing a box opening or doing my top 10 tobaccos of 2023. The main reason for my absence, in truth, is the weather. I don't smoke indoors. And it's been damn cold. There's a little cigar lounge down the street that I go to, but, you know, I'm not going to bring a camera in there. That would be ridiculous. And it would distract from the wonderful conversations that are available there. And, you know, I am curious, because when I go in there, I would say 9 out of 10 times I'm smoking a cigar. But I'll bring my pipe in once in a while. So my question to you is, if you smoke, which based on the comments I receive, say the vast majority of my viewers do you have a local cigar lounge or tobacco lounge, and when you go in there, do you smoke your pipe? If so, are you the only pipe smoker in there, or do you have friends? Because I've never been in there and encountered another pipe smoker smoking their pipe. I've seen people buying pipe tobacco. Usually they go in there and they'll buy Lane 1Q. Is that what it is? 1Q? Yeah, Lane 1Q, or the it's that like berry flavored one, Lane B something or other. I'll go in there and buy that. But never sit down to hang out with me. I'm already talking too much. Yeah, that's tasty. I've got another letter. From my good friend and fellow YouTube piper, the Gentleman Scholar. I'm going to reveal his handwriting. Now everyone knows. And I am going to read this. But I'm not going to read it aloud. Because Gary did not write this to you. He wrote it to me. So, if you'll excuse me, I'll take a look. Now, what I will do is I'll show you maybe a visual or two, because the great thing about, well, one of the great things about being pen pals with Gary is he always has these fun old comics. He'll like print pictures of old comics and glue them to his letters, and some of them are just hilarious. So we've got this time around. Isn't that cool? But yeah, please excuse me. He's mentioning some creative writing, talking about some stories he wrote when he was younger. One of them sounds pretty intriguing. He said it was about somebody who challenges the devil to a drinking contest to win his soul back, because apparently he made another deal with the devil and lost his soul. I guess the thing I'm curious about is, what does he have to offer after he's already given up his soul? Oh, man, my mustache is really getting out of hand here. It's got bourbon in it now. Thanks to the Gentleman Scholar. Check out his YouTube channel, by the way. I have been writing again, writing letters at least, but haven't done any creative writing in some time. And I do miss that. But right now I've got the music bug, and I've been recording music again, here and there. And that feels very good. A second question, if you care to answer. Do you have any creative interests? Do you make something? And if so, what do you make? I find myself drawn to one thing or another from time to time, from season to season, from year to year. Music being probably the strongest pull. Cooking, I think, counts because I do get creative with it. Although it's also a necessity because I have to eat. So that one happens more often than the others. Writing, creative writing, short stories, sometimes poetry. Although I have not written a poem in a very, very long time, even longer than I've not written a short story. And then there's making videos. And what I do with you, hanging out, smoking my pipe, occasionally reviewing things, I don't know that that counts as creative filmmaking. It doesn't, not for me. But I like to make other silly videos and whatnot from time to time. And I get to make videos for work sometimes now, which is fun. I have more of this letter to read. So, excuse me again. Looks like the rest of this letter is wrapped in some maps. Thank you, Gary. Always lovely to receive another letter from you. And life is not too hectic at the moment, so I imagine I'll be able to write back pretty soon. It's a good pairing. I've always found that bourbon goes good with Burleys. Sort of a nutty, earthy, mushroomy, umami to Burley tobaccos, most of them for me. And it works well with, the caramel, the vanilla, red fruit that you get from bourbons. Even as a millennial, it feels like writing letters is not something we do. I can't say that I have very many friends who write letters. My wife has a pen pal, but my wife is very cool. Although, I would argue that all my friends are really cool too. So, I don't know. But I wonder about the generations below me. There's got to be some esoteric little hipsters writing letters. I know they have to exist. But I imagine they're probably doing it with the sort of, I don't know, putting it on like a costume or trying it on like a costume or a temporary identity, the way I had blue spiky hair and thought I was a punk when I was a teenager. Although some of the things that we try when we're very young, we do keep. And I suppose that's the point of trying them. I could probably say that about pipe tobacco, really. The aesthetic of smoking a tobacco pipe, the idea of it was always intriguing to me. And I started playing around with it pretty much as soon as I turned 18. I got a corn cob and had no idea what I was doing. First pipe tobacco I ever tried was Eileen's Dream. Just remember thinking, damn, this smells good. Of course, aromatics never taste the way they smell. At least, not most of them. But as I kept coming back to it over the years, it turned out I really am the person who smokes pipe tobacco. I was right about that one. It's hard to predict who you're going to be. Thinking about how many people don't write letters, it does feel like a loss. I was also, from a pretty young age in high school, very opposed to the idea of having cell phones and always looking at them. And when I was younger, it wasn't even looking at them because you were on the internet. It was just checking text messages. Even then, it felt like I was losing potential connections just all around me. People not looking up, not noticing. And sometimes I'll be like on a bus or in a waiting room or something, and I'll just be looking around, seeing everyone looking down at their phones, some of them with family, ignoring their family. And I don't like it. It feels wrong. It feels worse than things used to be. But hasn't that always been the case with generations just disapproving of the younger generation? And I wonder how much of it is that and how much of it is real. And then I wonder about past generations, how much of it was just the way things are and how much of it was real. You know, TV rot in your brain, video games rot in your brain. It's hard to say. I feel like there are certainly shows that rot your brain, but then there are also shows that are quality enough that I would, I don't know, maybe not put them on par with a good short story or book, but similar. And video games too. I owe a lot of my patience and problem solving skills to being an avid NES player when I was a kid, I think. Some of those early games were so challenging, and the only way to beat them was to play the same level over and over and over again, just making a little bit of progress. But failing and starting over so many times. And that's what you have to do if you want to succeed at anything. So I think it taught me a lot of good lessons. If anything, I worry that video games now are too easy. They're not teaching the same skills. That reminds me, there's another creative pursuit of mine that I've been thinking about more and more. And it might just be the thing that I go back to after I'm done with my album that I'm working on. I was learning how to make video games. I was learning GML, Game Maker language, and I was making a video game. And this was before my daughter was born. So, about a year and a half ago. But the thing about making a video game is that it takes so much time. Especially if you are coming from a place with no coding experience whatsoever, and you have to learn it all. I was also learning pixel art to create all my characters and just all the art in the whole game, so it's quite a lot. But ChatGPT has really changed things. Before, if I was trying to get the game to do something, I would have to figure out how to code it using a combination of the very limited coding knowledge that I have and whatever I could find on YouTube. But now I can just ask ChatGPT, and from what I understand, it does a pretty good job just writing code for you. So I would not mind using that at all. I spent like 4 days trying to get the screen to move in a certain fashion as you entered a new area. And that probably could have been solved in 10 minutes using ChatGPT. So it might be possible to go back and keep working on that game. Man, feels like this thing is already starting to go out. But has it been that long? 41 minutes? We'll see. Usually I tamp it down and end up getting another 20 minutes out of it. Yeah, I needed a tamp. Now that said, I don't think I'm going to go back to the same game. I was making something that was sort of an homage to the NES Willow game. If you ever played that game, please let me know in the comments, because very few people I know have ever played it. But personally, it's one of my favorite games of all time. And I was creating a game to sort of honor and pay tribute to that game. But I'm no longer interested in doing that. I want to do something totally original. Well, as original as I can. I'm sure I'll borrow all sorts of ideas from all sorts of games, but, you know, I want it to be mine. The only things that I know for sure are that it will have some sort of humor, because I like humor in a game, and it will be 2D with pixel art in, you know, like a NES or SNES kind of style, because it's easier and faster to deal with. And I really like making pixel art. It's a lot of fun. It's looking to be another warm day tomorrow. Warm being, 60 degrees. So I might be able to come out here again and perhaps do a little review video. If I do, I'll probably schedule the video out like a week or something. But I'm very much looking forward to when it truly warms up and I can start making videos every week again. It'll be nice. I miss hanging out with you guys. But it's getting to the point where this bowl needs my attention. And I want to keep chatting if we're hanging out, so I think I'm just going to end it here so I can finish this, give it the attention it deserves. But I do hope you are having a lovely day, and thanks for hanging out.